Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk. It's brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl on the Belly Up Sports Network. We're going to talk about the state of the franchise today. We're going to go into the offensive line, and we got a bunch of news and rumors. But first, I got to bring in one of my co-hosts, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Hey, you know, we got the main course. We got the Detroit Lions on the Prowl trivia. We got your comment cards, and you know we got your dessert with your man Curt. Question of the day. So many things going on the show today. But before we get to all that, we got to bring in the third man in the weave. Who? Coach Jones.
Who? Coach Jones. Who is Coach Mike Jones? What's going on, Lion fans?
Hey, let's get this thing going.
Right now.
Let's go.
It's Detroit Lions talk, baby.
Welcome back to the show, people. And today we're going to go through the state of the franchise. It's the offensive line, because we're going through every single, position group to get us ready for the draft and to see what we may need to add to some of these different places. So, state of the franchise, offensive line. What do you got for me, Curt?
All right. Now, here is the offensive line room for the Lions heading into 2021 draft. As offensive linemen, now these are guys that can line up on any position on the line. We have Tyrell Crosby, Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow, and Logan Stenberg. Now, the other four individuals we have are designated as tackles. So they're only going to play on the left side or the right side of the offensive line. And that's right now as we speak. We have Taylor Decker, Matt Nelson, who used to be a defensive tackle, Dan Skipper, the big fella, and Big V. I ain't finna say that first name. I butcher enough names on this show all the time. So So Big V is designated as a tackle, which is surprising just because of the fact that I think he's going to play guard. So, Jim, what do you think about where our offensive line stands right now?
I actually think it's the best grouping that we have, to be honest, besides the defensive line right now. But there are some holes. We don't have a backup center. We, Halapula Vaitai is a guard. Terrell Crosby, to me, is a tackle. I don't know why they have him as a offensive lineman. But Frank Ragnow is the best center in football, my opinion, but he is. Jonah Jackson showed out last year. Taylor Decker's really improved. And I think he could be an all pro. He really could.
He could.
He's getting more strength, stuff like that. Matt Nelson used to be a linebacker, defensive tackle. Dan Skipper's a monster, but I just don't know how much these guys are going to develop as backups. Right. But right now, the big hole I see is backup center. They were trying to train Logan Stenberg to do that, but I don't see that happening. He doesn't have the right bend. They've been trying to work with his athleticism, and his flexibility is a key for him. And I don't know if he makes the team this year. I hate to say that. I'm just, I know we don't have depth, but I'm telling you, that guy is on the bubble.
Yeah. I think he will make the team. I think it just depends on his ability to get agile, to do more stretching. People don't know that stretching is the key to agility, and stretching is one of the most overlooked things there is. But if you stretch those body parts, eventually there gets a little, looser, a little bit more ability to go down, a little bit more. Okay, I can touch the ground now, like that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, people don't realize, man, that's really overstated, man, or understated.
He just plays so stiff.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? I think we are also missing a guard. We're missing people who just play backup center and then a backup guard. Like, other than that, we pretty good, but we missing those two pieces right there, man.
Yeah. All right. For me, it's the depth. We only have 8 offensive linemen on the roster right now. We know that's going to change in the draft. I just believe that they're going to address this in the draft and strengthen the best group in the Lions right now. You look at it, you only have 8 offensive linemen. That's you start 5. That's only 3 backups. Somebody goes down. I mean, that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? So,
and somebody's gonna go down.
Somebody always gonna go out with the Lions. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things. It's like it's just what we do. Somebody's gonna have an injury. Stenberg, and that big nasty, all that stuff, Mr. Nasty, and all that stuff. Can't be nasty if you can't be flexible, man. I mean,
you can't get on the field. You can't be nasty.
Yeah, that's one thing. He's, that stuff may have worked at the University of Kentucky, but in the NFL, that's just you got to have some bend. And the depth, like we were talking about Vitae. I think he's going to be, get kicked into guard again this year. I think that's where he bet. But some of the pieces that left, was our depth. Joe Dahl, and then Adabushi, he was our kind of swing guard. I mean, he was like a swing lineman. He pretty much played anywhere on the line that we really needed him to. So that was a really key departure for the Lions offensive line, was that, Adabushi was more of a issue when he left than people really gave it credit. Because Adabushi, nah, bro, that dude was key to our depth on that O-line. So we need to really build that right side of the offensive line. Kicking Vitae into the right guard is the right move. For me, I just think that with his injury issue with that foot, I just think it just makes more sense to kick him in. He has injury issues. Anyway, I think he's more protected on the inside of the interior of the line than he is on the outside. And you bring in the young fellas, Sewell or Slater, and I think that solidifies that. But you still need to get some depth down there. Maybe, a late round, guy who can be a backup or a undrafted free agent. But you need to address the offensive line just to make it solidified and stronger for the upcoming season. Because Jared Goff and those running backs are going to need it.
If you watch other teams, I watch different teams, and Green Bay, what they do, and I'm not so sure we won't do this. I'm not saying we're not going to take Slater or Sewell. All I'm saying is they draft their linemen late in the draft, and then they stick them behind the current players. They develop them. Then they're good backups, and then all of a sudden they become starters just because of that coaching staff over there. I think we could do something similar, although I would really love to finish off that offensive line, the starters at least, and get me a Sewell or Slater. But let's see what they do, because it's going to be interesting. This draft will tell us everything we need to know about this regime, as free agency did. So let's go ahead, see what they do. But you know what? You can get good offensive linemen, especially guards, later on in the draft. Yeah. And I think that to develop. And so those would be the backup players, backup centers, backup this, backup that. We could get those in the late rounds. We have so many needs, and we only have 6 picks, that I think this is a 3-year build. I look at undrafted free agents here also as guards or something like that. And then trading back to get more picks would help us a lot because of the holes that we have.
Or Kurt, you could have Shawnee J call up Bo Benchwazzle.
Man, sweet. There you go with that crap, man. Shawnee J loves Bo Benchwazzle, man. He just got released too. You know what I'm saying? He got released by whatever his current team was.
Oh, then he's available.
Yeah, he's available. I don't know. Shawnee J might be calling up Brad Holmes. Hey, man, bring back my boy. Nah. But here's the deal. But, okay, and for Lions fans, and a fella over there in the DSA, Luke G, made a good point on Twitter the other day, is that if you look at what Kansas City did in the offseason, right? So what did they do? They focused on their offensive line, especially the tackles. They signed a good offensive tackle, and then they traded this weekend for Zeus Jr., Orlando Brown out of Baltimore.
They did.
So they saw what the problem was in the Super Bowl for them, because they were down so many offensive linemen, especially the 2 tackles. I mean, they already had one that was out for COVID because he chose to stay in his home country and do his medical work during the pandemics, and so they just kind of lost their offensive tackles going into the Super Bowl. I mean, it was just like it was a bloodbath,
Yeah,
for the
it really
Buccaneers.
was.
They were just killing Patrick Mahomes. He just couldn't do anything. So what did they do? They went out there and they got some offensive tackles to solidify their line once again. So that is the key. Strong teams have good, strong offensive lines.
Also,
Both teams,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Also, the secondary free agency could help us there too, where
Yeah,
teams are
that is
going to
very
cut
true.
players. And I remember one year, and I said this I think before on the show, where the linebacking core was a real bad spot for us.
Mhm.
Then we got
Mhm.
Larry Foote afterwards, and we got a couple other guys, and all of a sudden it became the strength.
The
Out of
foot.
the weakness. I think we could still
Yeah.
do that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always an option. It's always players getting cut, salary cap, and you got guys who are just don't fit the scheme that you brought in, and or maybe a guy is outplaying the other guy who was the incumbent. You know what I'm saying? So he got to go. So you can pick up a ton of guys, especially for maybe offensive line, and maybe that's that second tier linebacker. So. But offensive line, I think it's a good core, but I think we need to strengthen it up, especially with those starters and get some more depth. Because right now, if somebody goes down, it's going to be a crap show. If we don't at least get a couple more players to get on that offensive line,
especially Ragnow. Yeah, he goes down. It's going to be
Ragnow
tough.
goes down because that was the great thing about having Graham Glasgow on the roster is because of the fact he played center. So
I think that was a bad mistake. I do. I think
that was one of the
worst
things to let him ride out of town.
I mean, he hasn't been great in Denver. He isn't wowing anybody over there, but he was dependable.
Here
he could play center. I think it was a mistake to get rid of him.
Because I would have liked to have Graham on one side and Jackson on the other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or that Bob
right now
magic.
We got Big V, so
Hey, what I'm saying?
Foot injury hurt him really bad last year. It limited his ability to use his footwork like he should have. He wasn't great at footwork anyway.
Nah.
So having a foot injury I think that really hurt him last year. Let's see what he does this year.
He couldn't get the Cupid shuffle on last year because of the foot injury. He couldn't to the left at all. So he
took a left right out of the field.
It was just one of those things. But let's get into some more news and rumors. That's our state of the franchise for the offensive line. Now, talking about injuries, right? So in addition of sports science director, they brought in sports science who can help the Lions with their injuries. It's just been happening so many times here in the Motor City as far as injuries are concerned. If you look at it, we've needed someone like this for a while because it's too much to put on our training staff to kind of do that in strength and conditioning. So if you look at it, right, so it is a director for sports performance is Mike Clark, and a director of sports science is Jill Canasta. So if you look at those individuals, they're going to come in and help with, maximizing player efficiency and helping players to avoid injury and recover faster if they get one. What do you think about the Lions bringing in those individuals to kind of help with those issues for our players, Jim?
I think the Lions are being smart. Oh, God, did I just say that? Wait, no, it must be early in the morning. I don't know. No, this is absolutely smart because of the fact that sports science has grown leaps and bounds over the years of us understanding the human body and understanding what we can do to manage our bodies better to be able to, prevent injury and make it a shorter term on the shelf when we get an injury or when they get an injury. I think the injuries have been plaguing the Lions for years, and I don't know what exactly is going on there, but I'm glad they're trying to address it.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It makes me extremely happy to know that we are trying to get on top of this injury bug that's just stricken us every season. I'm just happy that all bases are being covered by the coaching staff and by the front office, man. That excites me, man. So.
Yeah, to me, I'm like, for me, it's just another thing that the new regime is bringing. Not only just with the coaching staff and the front office, but Sheila Ford Hamp, if you look at how this team is, I mean, the front office and the coaching staff, they're structured, it's something we've never seen in the Motor City. And the notorious SFH is holding it down. I'm loving what she's doing. So Sheila Ford Hamp, keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can turn this thing around and get a Lombardi. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting no younger. You know what I'm saying?
Win one before I die.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, historically, we black dudes, we die a little earlier. We die a little earlier. So I'm trying to see this thing. Hey, I'm about to turn 50. I'm going to turn 50 next year. Hey,
we win one. Kurt might have a heart attack,
baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the clock.
I'm a little ahead of you, not by much, but I'm wanting one too. I've been watching this team for 40 some years, and it's like, come on, man, really? It's like you think everything's gonna go great this season, then people start dropping like flies, and it's like, oh crap, we ain't got nothing.
It's rough, man. It's rough, man. I got a little bit more time, hopefully, than y'all, but man, it's getting rough, man.
I got pre-existing conditions.
Me too.
Right.
Oh, Frank Ragnow recognized as one of the young top players in the NFL, the 25 under 25. He's, for me, they rank him 24th. I could see him ranked a little higher, but because of his position, I guess I can understand. He's not a, flashy player or the wide receiver, or the quarterback or something like that. So I can see the low rating. I really do have him as one of the best centers in the league, if not the best.
Yeah, he's just a monster. I mean, like, you think about, what the drop off was last year when he went down for a little bit. So, Frank Ragnow, and he's solid, he's dependable, and he's going to be there just 100%.
Yeah, he's I think he had a couple games where he was off because he had a broken throat or something, or I couldn't believe he played with that.
Yeah, choked out.
Yeah,
dude, is so tough.
Yeah, that was crazy to play with a broken. I think it was like a fractured esophagus or something, man.
It was crazy.
Man, you a monster. Man, I'm scared.
Dude, and the only reason he didn't play is because he couldn't call out the line assignments.
Yep. And the next week he was back.
Right.
I'm back.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy.
He had to get that throat right. All right. The Detroit Lions, they agreed to these deals earlier in the year, but they actually signed the exclusive right deals. We have, who he is, Mr. Foxy himself, Jack Fox, Matt Nelson, and Jason Cabinda actually were in the building and signed their exclusive rights free agent tenders. So, they're going to be in the building for at least one more year in the Motor City. Right. That makes me happy, especially for Foxy. Jim and I talked about this, man. Everybody thought it was an issue. I can't lie. I was one of the people when we let Sam Martin just walk out the door, and never mind. Jack Fox, that's probably one of the best things that Bob Quinn did in Detroit, besides drafting Frank Ragnow, is signing Jack Fox last year.
Yeah, definitely. I think we gotta sign Fox to a regular contract. Somebody need to call them. Hey, we need that guy on the team. Not as a free agent, not exclusive rights, none of that. We need to sign him to like a 3 to 4 year contract and just lock him down because he played last year. It's bad to say that our punter played last year. He played last year, so
that's not a position you want to make the Pro Bowl, but
I think that's some of the issue that this regime wants to get rid of. So like if you sign a player because he performed great or whatever, a lot of times those players get comfortable after you sign them to that long-term deal. I got money now. I got security. I'm not fighting and clawing anymore. And they tend to relax. And I think these 1 year deals right now it just keeps them on their toes and on edge. And I like what we're doing. I mean, I'd love to wrap him up, but and stuff. But I think that maybe that 1 year deal isn't so bad after all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. How many years can you use exclusive rights on a player?
I mean, we could sign him to a 1-year deal like Maltback every single year if we wanted to.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
no, I
it's
think
not
this is the last. I think it's your third year.
I think it is too.
After your third year, you have to sign a regular contract. So it's one of those things where it's going to be something where he's going to probably have to sign a regular deal next year.
Yeah.
You know, but Foxy, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's an interesting cat. You know, you have to check out his Twitter, man. That dude, hey, he drinks Dos Equis. He's one of the most interesting people in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's my brother. Then that's my brother.
Yeah, that's just what he do. All right, here and lastly, Brad Holmes prepared to move in either direction in the first round draft trades. We talked about this a little bit over the weekend, Jim and I did, but it was gleaned off the press conference from Brad Holmes on Friday. I mean, the brother was really non-committal on what the hell he wanted to do in the draft. I mean, he was like, we can trade it either direction. And it was kind of like, and most of the media was like, we don't know what the hell he's going to do. I mean, but I like that though, because it doesn't give anyone around the league a tipping point of what he's going to do when it comes to the draft, as far as trading up or down. I don't see the Lions trading up right now. And he's in a place that he's never been before, really, only a couple times in his career, being in the scouting departments or in part of the general manager team, where he has a first round pick. I mean, he didn't have a lot of them out there in LA or St. Louis, where the last two times they picked number one, it was Jared Goff was the last one, and the one before that was Aaron Donald. Yeah, and Aaron Donald was the other one. Right. So
yeah,
I mean, those just don't.
Both are arguably pretty decent players.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
at least one.
Yeah.
That solidifies him. I think him moving back. I think he's the most comfortable with moving back than we've ever had. So I think him not having a first round pick in a few years and what they did with him, he's gonna make the most out of that number 7 pick.
I agree. He reminded me of a boxer. He was doing so much bobbing and weaving and ducking the questions.
He was like, what?
Right.
But I saw something interesting this morning on ESPN. There's more misses than hits when teams move up in the draft and draft a quarterback. You just look at the numbers. Okay, you look at Jared Goff was traded up for, not on this team anymore. Carson Wentz traded up for, is not on his team anymore. All right, so you look at Richard Trubinsky, traded way up, not on the roster anymore.
Why?
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So you have guys that teams are over. It's a fact that teams overreach and overpay when they move up to draft quarterbacks.
And I hope that somebody moves up to 7 and takes a quarterback. I got a lot of people I like later in the draft, and I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with him getting that and getting extra picks.
Yeah. But that is the caveat is that teams, it looks like it's going to happen again this year, where teams are going to be moving up to take quarterbacks just because of the fact that they don't like what's coming in the next year or so for quarterbacks coming out of college.
Right.
I see Denver trading up to 4. I see Denver trading up with Atlanta. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Locke is not
a lock.
No. I see the Patriots trading up with us to get Trey Lance, because I think Trey Lance is the perfect understudy for Cam Newton.
I agree with you.
I do like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But hope we don't act like a little kid in the football camp calling them trash and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I seen Dan Orlovsky did a thing on Trey Lance where he 1.7 seconds. He looks off one guy. He goes to another guy on a different route, makes all those decisions with someone rushing him right in his face, puts it right on the money in 1.7 seconds worth of decision-making time.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's playing. He said that's playing fast and not hurried.
That's a high level of that's a high level thing to do. The issue, as far as a lot of people, the issue with Trey Lance is that he doesn't have a lot of exposure. The league didn't play this season. They didn't play to the spring, so that kind of just fell into where he was preparing for the draft, and he just didn't get a lot of national exposure. You know what I'm saying? Just because of where the school he played in, playing at North Dakota State. And then they say, well, Carson Wentz played there. Well, Carson Wentz is now, somewhere else. So,
right.
I mean, he got ran out of his job by Jalen Hurts. I mean,
It
it is what
hurts.
it is. Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts a
All
lot.
right,
doesn't it?
let's take a walk over to the Wall of Fame now, and let's see who we got on the Wall of Fame today. Curt, who do we got?
Man, you know who we got. We got our bronze members. We have Crystal Wiley, Art Allen, Stephen Castillo, and our newest member of the bronze team is Latino Leo. Then we have Detroit Drew, Midwest Lion, Bubba Bo, John Kapler, and Detroit Lions Talk with Micro Mike. All right. Then we have our silver members. We got Nomis J, Jason Portis, and the shift over from bronze to silver for North End Ken. And we have gold Lions. And then our gold members include Barb Coso, Turner C. Burley, Just and the D, Batman of the 313, who's a new gold member, Miles Gibbs, Randall Flag 606. Shout out to Randall Flag. Show Me BC, Randy Prince, the Gridiron Blitz, and the Dr. Detroit is always in. If you want more information on becoming a member of the channel and get your name on the Wall of Fame, just click the Join Now button down in the description, and you will learn how and what you get to become a member of this channel.
Now we got the Detroit Lions on the Prowl trivia. We do this on Facebook and Twitter. So I'm going to give you this question for you guys. And how many games did we tie in the last decade?
Oh, that's a good one. I would let's see.
How many games did we tie in the last decade? Actually, it's red. How many tied games have the Lions had in the last decade?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 2.
And you would be wrong. Mike would be right.
Mike will be right.
Mike
1.
Jones.
Yeah,
Coach Jones with the
Coach
number
got
1.
He came in.
It was 1. Absolutely.
Let me fix my hat.
Man, came in with the Braylon Edwards with the number 1.
Yes,
of course,
did.
always.
And now we can have Okuda number 1 or a middle linebacker. Anyway, whatever. The winners were on Facebook, Stephen King. I like his books except the endings. And the other guy was Jeremy Horn on Twitter. So those guys are our winners this week. And really appreciate everybody that rocks with us and plays a trivia game. Those questions come out every single day on Facebook and on Twitter. Get your answers in. First person that answers the question right is going to be the winner. So that's how we play our game there. And now we're going to go to see what you said for our Friday show. And we're going to go to the comment cards right now. I got David C. He said, these dudes make great points about Slater. It makes me more comfortable taking Slater. I was comfortable for a while.
right. That lazy boy for a minute.
Yeah, definitely. All right. The Ronin 99 says a lot of teams pass over Warren Sapp because of character concerns and drug violations. And I would say this about Warren Sapp. When he was in the league, he had he was pretty clean. As soon as he left, boy, that problem came right back around. I understand what you're saying, but for some reason, sometimes it's just not. But for every Warren Sapp, you have an Alden Smith. You know what I'm saying, or any other player. Randy Gregory, or you know what I'm saying. So you just have those guys. I mean, because look at Laramie Tunsil. There was that stuff that came out for the draft with this, he was smoking weed with the gas mask on. And I mean, the dude was, hey, I can't lie to you. The dude was getting it in, but but he hasn't had an issue since then. But I think the league now, I think I read it somewhere where the league has now made it okay for players to smoke marijuana in the off season. So
I don't see why. It's legal in most places.
It's legal in most states. They have to abide by but when it comes into the season, of course, still they're not allowed to, hit that 420 on the clock. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I mean, that's to attract more free agents. Everybody, come on to Detroit. Come on down. It's legal here. You can grow 12 plants.
But I think this for me is kind of, we're talking about Micah Parsons, obviously, in this situation. I think it's what the person did. It's just been players that do some things that are boneheaded that, okay, somebody partied too much, they did something stupid. Okay, that's something different. But when you beat on somebody or you do something weird, I guess it just depends on what that character concern is.
With the hazing and things of that nature,
and people think that that's the only thing he did, and that's not.
But no, I think that's not true. Just because of the fact that I know, people are involved in, fraternities and Greek organizations and stuff like that. I'm a member of a fraternity myself, and are those things character issues? Yeah, but when you get outside of that realm, I think that's where you have it. You really have an issue, and it really Greek organizations have really cracked down on those things where aren't putting people's lives and really create taking it out where you're not really doing criminal acts, doing your pledging. So yeah. But Mike, what you got next, man?
Yeah, man. Greasy football fan says Greasy football. Okay. Would love to give golf a legit weapon, Chase, and add an uber talented right tackle, Leatherwood, Cosme, Jenkins in the second. There are too many incredible offensive tackles in this draft. And you know what? All right, now I know y'all gonna be like, what happened between Friday and Monday? But you know what? I was thinking, man.
Oh, don't do that.
Look, man. Look, there are, because what we need right now, we need a right tackle. And I'm looking in the draft, and I see a lot of good right tackles that are probably going to slip into the second round, maybe even the third round. And getting that offensive weapon now is starting to make more sense to me. I would like I would like a right tackle. That's
whatever
what
happened to
like.
you. Somebody needs to smack it out of you or something.
Yeah, I would like it. I would like it. But the thing
was it 420 when you thought about this?
No. It ain't been 420 for me in about 6 years, Curt.
They're gonna need it. If you go Chase, you're gonna need an Uber for Jared Goff. That's what you're gonna need.
Well, here's my thing. Here's my deal. Now, I saw this question, Mike, and I want to say this. As deep as what you're saying, some good guys that can, in the second round, is just as many good, talented wide receivers as it is that would drop in. There's actually more. The wide receiver position is the deepest in this draft. I mean,
it depends on what right tackle you want.
Yeah,
if you want Sewell, Slater, I like Jenkins a lot. I really do. But the thing is, it's who do you have on your board that's number one at that point and position, and do you think that's going to help the build going forward? Do you think Jamar Chase is that? He could be. I'm not going to say he's not. I mean, that's a generational talent. We keep saying that stuff, and that drives me nuts.
The only I just don't want to get into the area where we're you draft Jamar Chase, but Jared Goff can't get him the ball. So he can't throw it from his back.
He can't.
Right.
Absolutely.
Man, you know what? I seen Nate Burleson on NFL Network. And he made a good point, man. I had to turn and he was like, man, don't Devontae Smith look like a polished Robert Woods? I was like, I gotta turn this because like I don't like that at all. But he does. He really does.
They're comparing Jalen Waddle to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, cheetah?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the point. I mean,
I guess when he's healthy, you're going to get that, though.
We're going to make all these comparisons to
everybody's
who
these
people are and stuff like that. But you have to know what you're trying to do in your build, what's your plan, and I think you can add the shiny objects later. I do. I think that you're not going to see. I don't think you're going to see a draft where you don't have at least one wide receiver that's going to be in the top 10. I don't.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to happen. And especially how the game is played now.
Mhm.
Those just that really big fancy wide receiver is going to go in the top 10 because somebody going to want him because the game is played on the outside now instead of the inside.
Mhm.
But your tackles, that's a main key part of your team.
Yeah.
And I think that if you go and get the best one, and
Yeah.
then you can get another wide receiver that's probably better than anyone on our team in the second or third round, even.
Because
It ain't gonna be that
got a
hard.
lot. We got a lot.
All right, let's go
What you
to
got,
G.
Jim?
I think I'm going to G, Rob. I'm thinking that's what this
Yeah,
is.
that's it.
Or it's
G-Rob.
Grob, and I don't think
It's
that's
G-Rob.
what it is.
Either or.
4866 says Lions need to create an identity, and our free agent period didn't do it. I say trade down, acquire more assets, and draft Tevin Jenkins in the first, and in the third round, another guard to complete your interior line. You have running backs. Let's make a name for them this season. I don't disagree with this, and I think, like Curt said, going to Curt's thing, Goff can't throw from his back. He really can't.
Right.
Now we have a good offensive line. Have we drafted offensive linemen over and over and over again? Yes, we have. But those picks have hit. Some of them. We got Taylor Decker, got Jonah Jackson, we got Frank Ragnow. Why not complete it and have an identity? I totally agree with this. Not sure about in the trade. If we can get a trade down and get some of these other people, that's great. We do need wide receivers. I'm not going to argue that point because I think we do. But it's a 3-year build. We could get that later, but I really want this offensive line to be solidified and they can grow together over the next 3 years. That's kind of what I want to see.
For real. I got you. All right. MBG238 says Sewell or Slater at number 7. If they're gone, then take Pitts or Waddle. They should draft a safety at some point as well.
I agree with the safety.
Hey, man.
Pitts
I don't
ain't
think
gonna make it.
I don't think Pitts ain't gonna make it.
Ain't gonna make it.
Pitts ain't gonna make it out of that top 5, bro. That just ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna leave Slater or Sewell at 7. But I don't know, man. Y'all tell me. I got a sneaky suspicion that it's going to be a trade. But, he going to be, Brad Holmes is going to do his Fat Joe.
Yeah.
He going to lean back and he going to go back and trade. He going to trade that pick, and we going to go back in the
somebody
first round.
wants Trey Lance. Okay, somebody licking their chops over Trey Lance in New England.
Trey Lance is going to be gone too.
Right? You think so? I don't know,
I do.
man.
I think there's a scenario out there right now where the top 5 picks
I think Denver goes up to 4, and I think that's who they take.
Really?
There's a scenario where I think maybe within the top 6 picks, all 5 top quarterbacks are gone.
I hope not, because I hope not.
I hope
that means
so.
we ain't trading with nobody.
That means Sewell falls to us.
That means Sewell's fall to us. So
that's not what I want. Okay. Doug Prince 72 says best player available is defined by teams with the biggest need. For the Lions, since we need to shore up the front of our offensive line, that may be the best tackle or guard still available at 7. Okay. We all hope that Penei Sewell could be Slater. I never listen to all the prognosticators because they always because they always presume the Lions' biggest need is the last thing we need. That's true. Our biggest need is what our coach and GM think is our biggest hole. So until Thursday night, none of us will know what Holmes and Dan the man Campbell think it is.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I like that. That was
that comment.
I love that comment, Doug. That was a great comment. I can't even argue on that one. You know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying? You did your thing, brother.
He did a lot of backspacing, reading, and then typing again and that. That was a well put together statement.
The thesaurus with the prognosticators. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
But if we didn't prognosticate, we wouldn't have nothing to talk about. So
we got to
do our thing
this time of year. No one would at this time of year. No.
The question of the day
All right.
today is, what do you think the state of the franchise is with the offensive line? Do you think we need to make additions? Do you think it needs to be at number 7? If you do, just let us know in the comments below. What do you think the state of the offensive line is? What do we need? And what do you think we're going to go do in the draft? So now, my favorite part of the show is the dessert with my man Curt.
All right, so it's real simple. Guess what it is? It is draft week, people. It is finally here. Jim and I will be doing a live stream on draft night with picks 6 through 10. Actually, we're going to a pick 5. So, but we'll be announcing 6 through 10 on the Belly Up Sports Network. It'll be over on their YouTube channel. With a link will be coming out real soon, so you guys can have it. You guys can save it and be ready when we are on for the draft. I cannot wait. It's finally over. I'm so excited. We won't be having a show on Thursday morning.
Nope.
We'll be going live, but we will be back for free for all Friday on Friday for our live. We'll be breaking down the Lions pick on Thursday night. So that's it in a nutshell. It is so good for Giraffe Week to be here. And to caveat, there will not be a Die Hard Den on the usual day. We will do a special review, and it will be out early next week. So that's the Dessert with Curt for this for today.
All right.
This sounds amazing. I'm going to start today.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, and I can't wait for the draft. I can't believe it's here already. I can't believe it's the week of the draft already. The temperatures don't reflect that, but not here in Michigan anyway.
Right.
But I'm so excited. It could go any way. It's not a draft where we actually kind of have an idea or know exactly what he's going to do, because I don't. It's the first draft of this regime. It's going to tell us a heck of a lot about the moving parts going forward, and I just can't wait for it. A couple of housekeeping things. Just wanted to let you know that we will be, like Curt said, we'll be doing that. We'll have no Thursday show. That's the same. But also, if you're going to get your Lions gear, go to Fanatics and get your Lions gear. If you're going to do it already, it helps the show. Use the link in the description. Look at that NFL draft cap Curt Steele has right there. Got it from Fanatics off our link. And if you could do that, it's one way. And there's the shirt with Curt. So that will really help the show as well. So we're going to have some major announcements coming up. So stay tuned for that. But now I'm going to kick it over for the final thoughts from my man, Coach Mike Jones.
Yeah. My final thoughts is to Brad Holmes. This is directly to you. Please trade back. I wish I could have like violins playing, like, you know.
Just hum it.
Brad Holmes. We want an offensive lineman. We want a right tackle. I think 7 is a little too early for a right tackle. I think we can trade back and get a right tackle, and plus some more draft capital for maybe next year. Please, Brad Holmes, trade back.
All right.
This public service announcement from Mike Jones.
I don't know what that was. Man, like Lenny Williams, please. All right.
For the price of a cup of coffee, you can say
my final thoughts for today's show. It is Monday of draft week, people. We are enjoying bringing you the content. We cannot wait for Thursday to get here. And hey, you start off your week with us. Hey, we appreciate it. And as always, hey, join the channel, subscribe, be a part of the family, because we don't have fans, we don't have viewers, we got family, and it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And go over and check us out on Belly Up Sports, and you will be able to check us out during a live stream over on their YouTube channel. Like I said, the link will be coming soon. And you can check out what's going on over at Belly Up Sports. They have a ton of articles over there by some great writers and some plethora, added to because he said prognosticators. A plethora of podcasts over there for you to check out. So go over there, head over to bellyupsports.com and check us out over there and the other podcasts as well. So it is Monday, people. Go into work, grind hard, do your job, knock it out, work hard, play hard, and whatever you do, you know what it is, baby. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, Mike and Jim, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.